I love that music. Puts me right into the mood. Welcome to Lisa's Nightcap, episode 14, a conversation with Dayane Kamana Ntibarikure. And if you haven't heard of Dayane, you should know that she's been an instrumental part of the Montreal theater community in so many productions. And chances are you've seen her on stage, but you'll only put two and two together tonight. Dayane recently joined the Segal team as our BIPOC artists advocate and artistic advisor. Huh? Don't worry, we'll clear that up for you also tonight. And one of the first projects she dove right into is a light installation in partnership with BTW commemorating Black History Month. And we'll talk more about that too, as tonight was its opening night. So today is Feb 1st. It marks the start of Black History Month. And I really can't think of anyone I'd rather have a conversation with right now to wind down this day and to begin this incredible month of reflection and honoring of Black history and Black voices. And although we're going to talk about all the stuff I just mentioned, you're just going to meet an amazing artist. So thanks for watching. Let's get into it. L'chaim, and let's welcome Dayane to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I was like, this is when it's not work anymore. This is when it's really just fun. And I'm going to remember that we do have viewers. So have to fill everybody in as we go along.
Yeah.
But I've really enjoyed getting to know you these past few months, and I'm so excited that even more people are going to get to know you through this platform. Yeah. So, how are you?
I am so excited. Honestly, like I was saying, I haven't gotten dressed up like this. I was like, how am I going to do my hair? Like this is so great. This is awesome. So great.
Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. This is my wardrobe choice for tonight. I don't know. It spoke to me. Yes, please ask any questions in the comments. We'd love to hear if you want to get to know Dayane more. But I thought a great way to start, it's like a very basic thing, but your name. This is just like it's unusual, it's beautiful. It's fierce. It's all of these things. And for those of us who do know you, you've recently added Kamana in there. So can you tell us a little bit about your name and where you're from and where you're going?
Sure. So my name is Dayane Kamana Ntibarikure. The name is from Burundi. Both of my parents are from Burundi in East Africa. And Ntibarikure actually means they're not far. And initially, as an artist, as you know me, I go by Dayane Ntibarikure, but Kamana was always there. But I always felt like my name is already long. People have a hard time pronouncing it, writing it. I'm going to shorten it. And I've been on this journey called life. And I did this amazing workshop called Arrival's Legacy with Diane Roberts, who's another director in the city. And it just lit me up. It was something inside of me that I was thinking about. And I was just like, well, Kamana is really my name in Kirundi. And it means little goddess, because Imana is God and Kamana is like little God. Anyway, so it's like all those meanings took an important part in my life, like just kind of like, not all of a sudden, but when you put pieces together, like small pieces together, bit by bit, and then suddenly it's just like this big aha moment, but that was building up. Mm-hmm. So this is like an exclusive. I'm like, there's some of my friends I haven't even told yet. I'm still getting used to it, but it's my name. And I just, I feel like I've been doing this first part of my life as Dayane Ntibarikure. And for now, I'm like, going with Kamana Ntibarikure. And it's fine. I'm still Dayane, but it's just like, I feel like I want to explore this part of me, My parents gave me that name for a reason, so.
So just to be clear, you actually would love for it not to be a middle name like we're reading now. You would like to be called, for people to call you Kamana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where I'm transitioning to, you know? And
Yeah.
that's my name. I have to get used to it. You know? It's fun.
It's so beautiful, and you know, you just, like anything, right? Something new takes time, and then we'll get used to it. Actually, when you reminded me of Kal-El. Do you know that from Superman?
Yes.
I don't know, the K, the goddess. It has so much power to it and strength to it.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you. My dad will be very happy.
Oh, good. I hope he's watching. I hope he's watching tonight. Okay, so as we have so many things to talk about, but we started now your name and where you're from, and I thought we'd take a trip down memory lane for you in terms of your unbelievable career that keeps going, and that through a little bit of This Is Your Life, we can get to know you. Viewers can get to know you because you work behind the scenes a lot.
Yes.
And on stage, while we may have seen you, it's not. Okay, here we go. Thank you, wizard behind the curtain. So what's this?
Okay, so this, not a lot of people know, but I have a degree in dance, and that's when I did my dance degree, and that was like our final presentation. And that was actually, I was the choreographer, and they caught this really cool snapshot, and that's what it is. That was me in school finishing my dance degree with my crew, I guess.
Where did you go to school, Dan?
It was at Segal Centre in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And did you dance growing up?
Oh, yes. Actually, when I was really young, my parents and my family used to call me Dunda, which means rhythm, because I couldn't walk, but I was apparently just like holding on to something and just like bouncing to any rhythm whatsoever. So yes, I've always loved to dance. And I just like adding skills to my tool set, you know? And music theater, love music theater. Yes. This photo is from Hairspray. Is when I did Hairspray with Just for Laughs. I think it was, I don't remember what year. All the years are just like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the scene when we're dancing in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And yes, that's us in the dressing rooms. You can see Butaina's there, Alexia Gour is there, Aiza, my little sister's there, Kim Richardson is there. Yeah.
I remember this show. What a cast. What a cast.
It was amazing. That summer was amazing.
Yeah. It's I don't even know if we should get into this now, but Hairspray as a show in general, you know, ever since Black Lives Matter happened, there's, you know, that's been one of the shows that people talk about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fascinating thing. And then looking back, like, do you see it differently now? I guess.
Lisa, I see everything differently. I see everything differently because, like, I mean, I've grown so much, you know, from then, and also because of the unrest and everything that's happening in our world right now. It's just like I think there's a veil that's lifted, and it's lifted for everybody. Like even me as a Black woman, my own experiences, the things I go through, the veil has also lifted for me, you know? So yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the most recent show that I was acting in. It's How Black Mothers Say I Love You. And that was an amazing experience with Black Theater Workshop. We went to present it in Brampton as well. in Ontario, and it was wow. Yeah.
It looks like it from the photo.
Yeah, yeah. It's so crazy to like, you know what I mean? Like you look at your own pictures and you're like, it's like a flood of memories, right? You're like, oh yeah, it's true.
That this was a life and this happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially now, right? You're like,
Especially,
oh
I mean, I can't even watch any TV or film anymore when there's a crowd
yeah.
without saying to myself, what kind of protocols did they have to go through in order to film this? Or this is so pre-COVID. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
no. It makes me uncomfortable actually to watch certain scenes because you're like, oh my God, like they're so close.
We should not be laughing because this is what we do, and we're going to get back to it. Okay, next photo, please.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. What is that, Lisa? You might ask. That's the Wandering Stars. That's a show that was like a troupe of young performers that was at the Segal, and I had the opportunity and the pleasure to be part of it, and I thought it was so appropriate to include it.
It feels almost like it was before its time. I know.
Yes.
I can't. I'm looking at the date. 2012 feels like so long ago, and this show, the message of the show was, we're really all the same.
Yeah.
And we should treat each other that way. And it was a great show, and I remember this one. I remember you in it. The score written by Elan was very catchy.
Yes.
And
We
yeah,
still
it was
remember it. I still sing it sometimes with Adam Capriolo. Like I feel like so many of us in the city got a start, got a taste for it through the Wandering Stars, like a lot of my friends. And it's so funny to reminisce, like 2012.
Yeah. I really want to bring something back like that, something for emerging artists, or when you're young and you're just starting to do something, and the touring, that was insane. But
yes, it was insane.
But it was great, and it brought a lot. Thank you for including that in your photos. I didn't even remember that until seeing it. So look at that.
And now I found it. You know what I mean? Like I was going through it, I was like, oh my God, I still have those. Of course I have to include it.
Amazing. Okay, what do we have next?
Oh, okay. So this is from a play called Le Printemps de Zaninha. And it's there's a dance troupe called Le Groupe Ihozo, and they do traditional dances from Rwanda. And it's really cool because what they do is that they have the choreographer Didier. He writes a play, and this was the story of the wedding of Zaninka. And I think I think I was playing her aunt. Yes, my little sister Isa was playing her mom, and I was playing her aunt. And it's set in pre-colonial East Africa, so it's electric, like the dancing and like we're barefoot on stage, and there's like the staging and like the traditional movements, and it's amazing. Honestly,
Wow.
if you can catch a show by Groupe Hozo, do it. I was so happy because actually I performed at that show, and then when I transitioned to be more of a director, I got to direct one of because it's kind of like they keep telling the story in a kind of chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
So like, she got married, and then like what happens after, she has a family. It's like you're following through the story of that character. It's so great.
Wow, you make me want to see it.
It's really, really great, honestly. Wow.
Amazing. Okay, do we have any others? Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So when I made the transition from like being more as an actor and then as a director, I got to do so many things. And these are my friends. They're part of a band called Rosier, and that was the launch of their album Morose, and I did the staging of the launch, and it was amazing. Like right there, you see the older man to my left. It's Guy Laflamme, and he's one of the best lighting designers like in Quebec. And he was there, and we worked up this whole thing, and it was amazing because it was kind of like at the beginning of of my directing like by myself, and it just showed me the possibilities, and it was so exciting.
Wow. So did you throw in any photos of things you worked on as a director?
I think so. What did I put in?
Well, what's something that you've done?
Well, recently it wasn't so much a photo, it was a video.
Mm-hmm.
Right before the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
So like last March, I was in Ivory Coast at the Massa, which is the Marché des Arts Africains of Abidjan. And it's so eclectic, it's so moving. It's like a bunch of artists from all over the world get together and they present all sorts of shows in different venues. And it was like, that was like between March 6th to like March 15th. So literally right as the world was starting to crumble, I was watching. I think I like to say that I was at the kind of last performing arts festival before the pandemic. And so I came there with a show that was representing Canada called Maman la Mer. And it was an incredible experience. We got to present the show at a performing arts school. And the students, like the fire that they had, and like they were just so into the story, so focused. So it was the energy of it. I'll never forget it. It was amazing. Oh yeah. And I hadn't been back to Africa for like, that was the first time I was back in like 20 years. So it was, and then it's like, go back home. There's a pandemic.
I was just talking to my brother about his fears of his daughter going through elementary school, like, in a pandemic, or how long it's going to last. And, my son's in his first year of high school, and he doesn't, like, they don't know any different, but it's so sad. Like, they don't, what they're missing out on, or we all know when we saw something as a school, how that could for literally change lives, literally like took someone and said, my course of life has now shifted because I just saw that play, or I just saw that musical, or I just met that artist.
And it's so interesting that you say that, because actually, yes. So that's another show that I was a part of. That's Choir Boy. We did that at the Center, and I was so happy because I was assistant directing Mike Payette, and he just gave me the green light, and I had the opportunity to create the movement for that piece, and like getting to do it for the big stage. It's so rewarding, and I was so glad. But when you're talking about finding that inspiration, I don't know if you can find the picture. It's of me. I look like I'm in like a ghost outfit. I don't know if you have it. Anyway, when I was in high school, no, it's not exactly that one. But
like, that was fit the description you gave. That fit the description. You're like a ghost outfit, and what else is she gonna put?
No, you know what? I was playing a villain in that one, but it wasn't a ghost outfit. I got to play Fumasara in Fiddler in high school. My high school was where my love of musical theater and everything, my whole career was shaped there. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God. I think they were rehearsing a chorus line, and I went in and I saw these actors on stage, my peers, and I was like, what are they doing? And I was like, I want to do that. I need to do that. I don't know what they're doing, but I need to do that. and literally my whole life.
Yeah. I think Lin-Manuel has the same story, actually. It was like Fiddler and Rent or something like that. But yeah.
Oh my God, if you can keep comparing my life to Lin-Manuel, please go on, never stop.
Okay, well, so.
Oh my God! Oh my! I forgot what I put in. Okay, so when I was in high school, those are some of my best friends. We're still sisters to this day. Joyce in the middle, Veronica to the other side, and we had a vocal trio called Free Souls, and that's one of our performances. I think au Festival des Montgolfières in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, and it was awesome. Like, we took it very seriously. Like, you see, we have a little like matching outfit. We wrote our songs. It was great. It was amazing.
Of course you took it seriously, because we do, even before we need to, right? That's the art of being a theater artist. So I want to transition a bit, because we could go through more and more and more of your unbelievable resume, but I'd like to move into a new hat you're wearing.
Yeah.
Performer, director, and that's the one you're wearing with us. It's a BIPOC artist advocate and artistic advisor, and this was created by us, by the Segal Centre.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that we are living inclusivity, and we are elevating voices that are not always our own, and we are working with artists like yourself, at the very top of what we do. Mm-hmm. And so this position is an experiment, although one that's so far working out, at least on our end, I think.
Me too, don't worry.
Okay, good. And I'm going to, I have it here because I want to, for everybody watching, I do want to just say what it is. The objective of the BIPOC actors advocate, artist advocate, and artistic advisor is to support the Segal's objective to ensure that inclusion and accessibility remains a vital element in everything we do. You will assist in the process of season planning, recommendations, specifically in regards to the selection and integration of projects with connection to BIPOC artists or themes, and also play a key role as a resource to the creative, to the production teams, to the artists, to our marketing, to our development teams, to everybody, as an advocate for BIPOC artists. And it's kind of like this like combined position. So I guess, like, I don't even know what really to ask you for this, because it feels so silly to say, like, how do you feel? But did you ever expect that this would be one of those hats you would wear? And do you feel, I have a good question. I think I have a good question, maybe. Do you feel, is there any weight to it? Like, do you feel any kind of pressure bearing this title? That's my question.
I mean, yes, but I think that's just the kind of pressure that I put on myself when I embark on any endeavor. Mm-hmm. I am very excited that this position came to be, and I feel so privileged and honored to be able to kind of create it, that we can create that together. And I feel like I've been an advocate my whole life, just so, and coupled with my experience, and just, I think the kind of person that I am naturally, I think that it works. It just works. And so I have things to offer, but I'm also learning. You know,
Right.
we're like it's exciting because I think that we're both very knowledgeable, and we both like very skillful and so well intentioned together, that I don't think we can do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's like it's like if we come up with something and it's like, oh, it doesn't work, then we're just learning from it. I feel like this position is somebody I'm having the opportunity to take part into a position that I would have loved to have for myself when I was a performer, when I am performing, when, you know, it's just somebody, honestly, it's just
Yeah.
somebody to be able to go to and be like, hey, so, you know, like about the hair, what's the hair situation? You know, just like something, just, and be
Yeah.
able to have that conversation freely without any, like, I guess, awkwardness, you
Yeah.
know, just
Can
that.
I think I'm really glad you gave an example, because I still think like it may be so obvious to you, but can you give me another example, like what's an example of what might someone come to you with, or what, or as an artist yourself, like you just said, the hair, what does that mean? What is something that we can do now that we didn't do before?
Um, well, so if I take the hair example, you are in a production and you're a Black artist, and it's like, okay, so everything is set, but it's like, okay, um am I gonna get my hair braided? Am I getting my hair done every night? Am I getting a wig? And who's paying for it? And who's taking care of it? Because too often it just becomes the artist's responsibility, and they're alone in that, you know?
Yeah.
But now I can be a bridge. And
Right.
I'm so happy to be a bridge, you know? And we can start the conversation not at the end, not at the end, just like at the beginning. Just be like, hey, so that's gonna come up. Like, what's the situation? You know? And it's
Yeah.
like, it's such a small thing. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like such a small thing, but it is soul crushing when there's no one that cares about it, or no one that seems to
Get it.
get it. Yeah, or want to get it. But
Mm-hmm.
what we're getting with this position, what we're understanding, what people are hearing from the seagull is,
Mm-hmm.
we get it. We want to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Want we want to have that bridge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think about it also in terms of roles. Like I guess I guess I grew up, an actor, becomes somebody else, even though part of the training you always have to dig into yourself and all that. Um, but I think now, especially with depending on the stories that we're telling, how going through what you may have to go through to become a certain character, we learn, if we learned anything with Children of God, is how much support the artists need when exploring, traumatic stories,
Yeah.
and everyone's going to handle it differently. um, I mean, that's one obvious way, but I'm learning so much. Like, it's just having you in a room. We say representation matters, or why is it important for Disney princesses to be of different colors these days, and the little kids see, I can do that, or look at Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
um, but just having you around, I think for everybody, it's like, I mean, hopefully there'll be more, but it's like this sigh of relief, and of wanting to be something that we're only just beginning to understand.
Mm-hmm.
and just having you with us is like a first step.
And I am, like I said, I'm so grateful, and I think that this is coming at like, it's just like, the timing is perfect, and where I am in my life, the kind of experiences that I have, I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. Like, sign me up. I am here for it.
Absolutely. And I mean, Dayane, it doesn't hurt that you love musical theater.
I love musical theater. I love it. I never understood anybody that's like, ugh, like, it's not like real, like, it's not. I'm like, please, acting, singing, and dancing, telling a story, all of that, it's the ultimate form of art. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Please.
Yes. Oh, we don't even get me started.
I'm getting you started.
No, we have had moments where we have had a play rehearsing, and I am not knocking plays, okay? It's what I do. I know, I get it. But we've had plays rehearsing, and it's like one costume, one setting, one whatever, and then we've had the same musical, 30 wig changes, 30 costume changes, singing, dancing, acting, different characters, all in the same, harmonies, choreography. It's great. It's amazing.
I love it. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. So that was one of my dreams, and I'm so happy I got to accomplish it. So that's me on the back of a motorcycle. When I played Sister Mary Clarence in Sister Act, that was a dream come true. Honestly, that was a dream come true. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And it was such when you're like, I can do it, and then you get to do it and see that you can do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was such a milestone in my career.
So that's one other thing that we should just confirm, how perfectly bilingual you are, which is unbelievable, because that was the French, right? It was all in French, Sister Act.
It was all in French, yeah.
Except for the title they kept.
I mean, yeah.
That's amazing. But was there a motorcycle on stage, or that was just for the? No, okay. You never know.
No, it's true. But that was just like a photo op. Like, I think it was like a day where we had 2 shows, and it was like in between the shows, we went outside in the alley of the Théâtre Saint-Denis, and somebody had their bike there, and they're like, let's take a picture.
So one of the things that we're going to discuss together, and that we've started on, are things that we could do with the Segal Centre. But what for you, and it does Segal or elsewhere, just to keep it general, what kinds of Black or people of color shows are you most looking forward to seeing when we resume?
Like, you want a specific show, or you're just talking about like what I'm trying to do?
Would you, I guess my question is would you rather like an upbeat musical, or would you rather another Angelique? Would you rather Angelique was another production Dayane worked on about like something that happened in Quebec, wrongfully accused type of story. It played in the Segal Centre studio and then went on to Ottawa. A really, really beautiful production. But we have a lot of, like in many cultures, you have your, traumatic stories, and then you have your happy-go-lucky stories. So when this is all said and done, what are you looking most forward to seeing?
I want to see stories of Black people, Indigenous people, people of color, just being normal. You know what I mean? Just like falling in love and like, I don't know, like, taking a job across the country or
Right.
like just like regular stories, that we get to see all the time. But I feel that when it becomes like, I'm going to focus on like Black stories if you want.
Yeah.
There's this idea of like overcome. And I think it's important that it stays in our psyche, that like Black people are resilient people and they've been through a lot. And that's a narrative that's very present also in the Jewish culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a resilient people. We shall overcome, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But also we're here and we're living and we're just, like a group of girlfriends, or just like, I don't know, just tell me about the first, like, like, not even the first. See, that's another thing. The first. It's always like the first Black woman that became a swimmer. The first.
Right.
Just tell me the story about
Yes.
a girl and she's Black and I want to see her life.
Yeah.
And I want to see her going to bed and putting on her little bonnet because, her hair needs satin. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, things like that. That's and I think that people will get closer to Black reality by seeing how normal it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, right now I'm thinking of Bridgerton. I was like, did that accomplish it? I don't know if you watched it.
You know what? I didn't watch it. So I can't talk on it. But a lot of people are excited about it, and that's great.
Well, what's interesting is that it's a period piece where if you were true to period, you would never see Black people like living in high society. But in this version of reality, they're everybody's equal, and so it's like there's an underlying questioning of how is this possible that does come up, but it's cool to have like the Duke that everyone's in love with, be a person of color. It's Shonda Rhimes, so it's like a twist on that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, so even though they're living their normal lives, we're still thinking about it in a way.
Yeah.
What's the difference for you between what you're describing and colorblind casting?
Oh my God. Colorblind. Okay. I think that colorblind casting can become a trap because we don't want our color and our, your culture and your experiences to be erased. We want them to be taken in, but not necessarily be the focus of everything. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a Black woman, yes, and I want you to see that, but I don't want you to dismiss me or base everything just on that. So I think that, colorblind casting it's great. And like, I remember when I went to New York and I saw The Little Mermaid and all the sisters were like from everywhere, and it's like, it's The Little Mermaid. Yes. Do a colorblind casting. I think that the king was a Black man and, like it was like from all over.
Right.
And I loved it. And it made sense. It's The Little Mermaid.
Right.
It's like, come on. But in a lot of cases, it's like, it doesn't make sense. You need to know that these are people of color. You need to know. You need to take that into consideration. And I think that a lot of times what happens is that, I have to take that into consideration. So you know what? I'm not going to cast it.
Yeah. I think you may have just given a lot of people this big aha moment because you just said that so clearly. Because, yeah, we don't we understand, like in many plays, that anybody can play anything, but if something is so deliberately written for a non well, I'm just going to say like a white person, because if it was written that way and the character is deliberately that, then if you're going to colorblind casting, it needs to go deeper. There needs to be a reason. We need to bring that into the imagining of this version of this show, is what you're saying.
100%.
Right.
It can't be left
like ignore it.
Ignore it. And the thing that another trap that I think that we fall into as creators, if you want, is that as an audience member, I can tell if you haven't had the conversation. I can tell that hasn't been talked about. Like if I'm watching a show and there's like, the casting is colorblind or the casting is bended, but there hasn't been a deep conversation and not everyone is on the same plane and we're not telling the same story, you can tell. You're like, what's going on? Because things don't align. Things don't make sense.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah. I just, that just like lends to a new discovery of your role and how integrating, whatever show it is, because, we're going to strive for as much diversity on our stages as possible, that those conversations need to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, here's the thing. I always felt when I started, doing theater and, working in the performing arts, I was always like, it's more important to me that we have the conversation in the room, and that if we need to disagree, let's disagree in the room. Let's fix it in the room all together, working towards this project, then kind of, leaving things to chance or just pretending that they're not there, because they will show up on stage. If you don't talk about it in the room, it's going to show up on stage, and it's not always going to be the best thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, you need to talk about it. And even if the conversation is uncomfortable, there are ways to bring up a topic. There are ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, now you're really talking about, being a good director, because if you brush things under the rug in the room and your team has no clue why they're doing something, then you could tell.
Yeah.
You could really tell. And if you can't tell, then you don't know the potential of how good it can be when everybody is aligned and when everybody's on the same page. And as directors, we get that privilege to watch the transformation happen, that leap from when it's, the beginning of the understanding to the really plugged in moment that you just become so grateful for.
Yeah. It's such a privilege, honestly, because I think that a lot of times, like having had the chance, and you as well, right, of being on and off the stage, performing is so incredibly difficult. It's so demanding that, like, as a director, it's like our job to just, gather the rest and let you work. You know what I mean? And it includes having those difficult conversations, and it includes, creating positions as a BIPOC advocate, and it includes so much more that we're still like, discovering. And I feel like theater and performing arts, it's like, it's always evolving, right? We're evolving, we're changing. Some things were okay before, they're not okay anymore. And we want to make it more inclusive, more present. But in order to do that, we have to have the conversations.
Yeah. And, how do you feel? I think conversations are being had. Maybe not enough, but if they're being had mostly by internally. And I think we're all in a way waiting that eventually the audiences are going to come along. but you touched upon something of like how when like you said it yourself, the audience will see the work.
Yeah.
If the conversations are had, I mean, I'm just learning so much right now. My mind is exploding. But like what you just said, if you do the difficult work in the room, and then that translates to the stage, then that's received by the audience. Then they're going to hopefully take that away and then go off and have the conversations. There is a cycle, and then sometimes we get to have them together.
Yeah.
But we have to believe that the audiences are going to be there on the other side, joining in on the conversations. We just have them first.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I feel so far away from the audiences, right now. But so thank you, audience watching tonight. All your comments or for tuning in already. I cannot believe we're 10 minutes away from the hour. Unbelievable.
Crazy. That was what?
Because there's wide. I mean, like there's so much to learn from you, Dayane. The light installation. So it's Black History Month.
Yes. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. We are doing this crazy, awesome public work of art.
Love it. Love it.
It's happening. There it is. So what everyone's looking at is the inside of the Segal Centre. And the green light is part of a light installation by Tim Rodriguez, the designer in residence for Black Theatre Workshop. And this is a Segal Black Theatre Workshop partnership commemorating Black History Month. And it's going to be up all month, every single day of the month of February, from 5:30 to 7:30, as long as the curfew is in place. You can drive by the Segal and look at this beautiful light. But Dayane, this was one of the first projects that you really threw yourself into. So can you share with us the kind of process and of like what you did with Tim and how you feel about when you see these photos today? I know you're not currently in Montreal, so you won't be able to see it, but there it is.
Yes, I can't see it in person, but you can, to the people watching. So please go see it. Go see it. It was working with Tim. I worked with Tim a few times. And when Lisa, when you brought up the idea for the installation and the partnership with BTW, I was like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. It's so great because it lets, right now we're like, what are we doing? No, but for real, we are like, what are we doing? And this is a reminder of we're still here. It's still happening. We're still creating art. And we're still telling stories. And I love that the story of the installation, of what's going on, the tribute is done through light. And we're going to have the reflections, which is a written accompaniment to the installation itself. So I don't know. I'm thrilled. I'm so happy it's happening, and it's happening the whole month of February, like the whole month. I think this is actually, I think this is such a cool idea that I'm like, how can we replicate this? Like even when we start getting together and gathering and seeing shows in person, right? Like something like that. Like a lighting installation to accompany, to work that works with a piece. You know what I mean? There's so many possibilities. Yeah, it's exhilarating.
It's true. It's true. And if the weather was a little warmer, we could have even done maybe more outside. So there's so much potential for where this can grow.
Yeah.
And for those who want to know more about the inspiration and the vision behind the design, on our website, we have the artist statement, which Dayane worked on with Tim. And of course, we're going to have, as Dayane mentioned, these reflections that are going to be posted weekly. And, you know, what I'm most excited about is the schools, the teachers are so thrilled to have something artistic for their students to dig their heels in for Black History Month, to use it as a you know, talking point. I'm so happy the response from schools has been really, really good. That really, I don't know, makes my day to see kids engaging with art this way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
I mean, you know, we always say like kids are the future, and it's 100% true. And also, it's in a time like this, you know, you were talking about how the younger generation, they're like, well, I guess that's high school, you know, that's high school in a pandemic, that's, you know, but I feel like something that like Liberation's Radiance is so hopeful and so inspiring, you know, it's like we're still making it happen. We just got to make it a little bit different, but don't worry, we're still here. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, because it is Black History Month and it's day one of Black History Month, I wanted to play a little game with you.
Okay.
Okay, so you just tell me like who your favorite is, or who so imagine Black. Who is your favorite Black artist, music artist?
I would have to say my sister, Aza. Yeah, she's incredible, and it's just like, because I had the privilege to watch her become this incredible, phenomenal artist, and she just keeps blowing it out of the water every time. And I get to like listen to the snippets of her songs and you know, seeing her self tapes, and I'm like, my God, this woman,
Yes.
how? You know, like I used to walk her home from school. Like, what?
Yeah, I remember when she was available for work. We can't get her anymore.
Well, no, you can't. You better snatch her up.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have to say her.
Okay, favorite film.
Okay, what? My God, this, because I'm,
you know, favorite. Don't let my favorite thing throw you off.
No, I know, but it's like, you know, it's like it's always in like the kind of like last things that you watched.
Yeah,
you know? And you're
fair.
like, okay, what is my favorite Black film?
Or if you're talking to someone who's not Black today, and you're telling them in honor of Black History Month, you should really watch.
I would be like, you should really watch Insecure. It's not a movie, it's a series, but it is. When I talk about regular Black people living, to me, that's yes. A movie though?
Good answer.
The other one. I have to think about it.
Here's good answer. Okay. Who would you call upon as your favorite game changer?
I think I would say Oprah. Yeah. Like if Oprah could like adopt me, I would be like, yes.
Yes.
I would have like, Oprah as like my like surrogate mother, and then like yeah. I just feel like she just has so much wisdom, and she just knows how to share it widely. You know, she's so inspiring.
Okay, play or musical?
Damn. Hamilton.
Or maybe Hamilton. In the room where it happens.
Oh my God. Do not get me started, because we're going to start from the top. Alexander Hamilton.
Oh yeah. Okay. What else? Woman.
My favorite
Black woman.
My favorite black.
And you already said your sister, so.
I was gonna. You know what? My favorite black woman, dead or alive?
Anything.
I would have to say my mother. Because my mother passed away when I was very young, but I'm in this whole like, you know, finding my own story and like talking to my family and be like, what was going on then? What was going on then? And the stories that are coming out about my mom, I'm like, wow, she's amazing.
Wow. That's
So yeah.
amazing.
So if I have like a little bit of her in me, which I do, everything's fine.
Well, it seems like you do. Okay, last one. This is very general, but like a generally awesome Black person that you want to share with us that we may not know about, or maybe we do, but we should watch his, her, or their stuff immediately.
Oh my God, I would say my sister again, but like, okay, let me try to find somebody else. Oh my God, I feel so put on the spot. Okay, so if you, well, you need to know him. My Tweenie, Vlad Alexis. He's an actor, a writer, a music artist. He's from Montreal, and he is just incredible. And I call him my Tweenie because my birthday is September 10th, and his birthday is September 10th. And we like, I feel like if I didn't get this position, I feel like Vlad would be another excellent choice.
It's so funny you're mentioning him because yesterday we saw him. It was actually Elan who saw him on a commercial. I was like, I know that guy. I was like, it's Vlad. I remember the commercial, but I just saw him and just thought of him, and now here you are talking about him. That's beautiful. I hope he's watching, and if he's not now, he will. Word will get out that he should watch this.
We call him Mr. Marshall because he's doing all the Marshall ads. You probably saw him in the Marshall ads.
Okay. Oh, Ace is watching. That's amazing.
Yay.
And Ace has been on the Segal stage before. She literally like stole the show in Ain't Misbehavin' many times. It was like it was like a star. Sometimes you just see a star. Actually, the last time that happened at the Segal Centre, we had someone come in and audition, and all of us at the panel were like, that's a star, like right there. And so we cast him, and then he pulled out of the job because he got a job on Broadway. He's like, right out of theater school, and at least we had at least we know. At least we all felt that we were able to recognize it when it's in front of us. But I feel the same way about Aza. So yeah, maybe now she'll come back. You'll direct her in something.
Yeah.
Well, this has been absolutely amazing, and if you want to know more about Dayane, then just keep following the Segal Centre because she's there. She's her touch is going to be in everything that we do, and hopefully when we announce some shows, you'll recognize her name there as well. Kamana, maybe by that point it'll probably there. I'm going to start getting used to it. I'm going to start being like, oh, Lisa was the first one who adopted it. So Kamana, this was wonderful. This was an amazing evening.
So much.
Great way to end a Monday night. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is amazing. And thank you to our audience. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. And thank you, Debbie, behind the scenes.
Yes. Well, how do you call it? The wizard behind the curtain.
Yes.